You want to know how to make Ramonda's crown with the perfect gold, the perfect purple, and the absolute perfect finish for a queen? Well, let me show you. Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name's Luke, and in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to make Ramonda's crown from Black Panther Wakanda Forever. I'm going to be going through what files we used and the paint. It's going to be a really simple build. It's really not too much added into it. We're not doing any weathering or anything because I want this one to be absolutely pristine perfect. So the first thing we need to go and do is, well, find some 3D files. Now for these files, I'm getting from this channel sponsor, Dio3D. So here are the files in all their glory. So as you can see, really nice, simple files. We've got them broken down into 4 separate pieces, plus the crown, making it a total of 5. And that's it. Now, the really cool thing is with this headdress is we don't have to print it in multiple parts. There's no magnets needed, although there is a version within the files. If you wanted to use a magnet, you can, but you don't have to. So as you can see, all of these files seem to have like a screw hole through them, which is actually exactly what they are. So we're going to print out the ones with the version of the screw holes, and we're just going to use some M3 10mm screws. That means they're 3mm in diameter and then 10mm long, which are the absolute perfect screws for this. And all we have to use is just an Allen key. You can get some versions with a screwdriver, like a Phillips head or a flathead, but I'd recommend to use an Allen key. It's just a little bit easier in those tighter spaces. Now, the only thing is I do have to do a little bit of pre-drilling. I just take a 3mm drill bit and I just drill in some of the holes just to free them up just a little bit, just because my tolerances aren't, well, perfect, but you might not have to if you nail the absolute printing process, but I would recommend just pre-drilling them slightly. So that is pretty much everything with the files. We are going to be FDM printing the bigger panels and then resin printing our main detail piece because we want to capture every little bit of detail. So the next thing we need to do is, after we've printed these out, we're going to go into the sanding and let's talk about the paint. Alright, so let's go through our paint. Now obviously this headdress, you can see, consists of 2 colors. We are not weathering it because, well, I think it looks really good, and obviously it's a crown, so we don't want to go and weather it because it's not going to be battle damaged. It's going to be pretty pristine and perfect. So let's talk how we achieve this effect. So after everything has been 3D printed, we're going to give it a bit of a sand. Now if you are interested in that, I'll leave a link down in the description through the whole video of where I go through my sanding, the wet sanding, primers and all that sort of stuff, to get your set parts super smooth and ready for paint. I will say it is a bit of a tedious one to sand just because all the parts are really small, but if you just take your time, you'll get it perfectly. So the first we're going to do is lay down a 2K gloss black. This is my Elasa 2K gloss black. You see this in every video, we talk about it all the time, and it lays down absolutely perfectly for my favorite step, which is the Alumoluster. So we need to make this thing nice and shiny and chrome because we're going to be using candy paints over the top. If you've ever known anything about candies, well, the base coat needs to be shiny. So it's going to lay some nice even coats of Alumoluster down over the entire helmet, over our gold bit and the purple bit. Now, after that, we need to divert into the 2 different colors. So for this main gold piece, we're going to get some FX Intercoat binder, or just an Intercoat binder is perfectly fine. I just go with the DNA Candy Paints. It's an Australian brand, and I just use this because it's easy to get. But any Intercoat binder is going to do perfectly. And we're also going to take some Imperial Surface Squeeze Box, and for this we're going to be using Lost City. It's sort of more on that lighter yellowy gold, which is exactly perfect for this headdress. We're going to be using 20mm of the FX Intercoat binder along with 8 drops of Lost City. I always go less drops of the inks just because I like to build that color up and up, and also be able to manipulate it. If you wanted to go, you could go with like 20 drops of this. It'll only need 1 to 2 passes, up to you. But I just like that slower, steady, and using less of the ink. So once that's laid in a nice even coat, it's gonna take quite a few layers to build it up and up and up. But around their 10th layer or 8th layer, 8 to 10 I'd always say, is going to be where you need. After that, we're gonna now start painting our headdress. Now, I have used this paint before, but this is my DNA Candy Pre-Mix Mulberry. This is the same stuff I used on my Galactus helmet, and it is absolutely awesome. It lays down really, really clean and really nice, as you can see, and it's really easy to be cleared. Now, if you are interested in how I mix all of my ratios to candies, talking about the premixer, concentrated, or the base coat, I'll leave a link down in the description where you can find that whole tutorial where I talk about in depth of the candies, because, well, it's a long, tedious process. And last but not least, we're going to seal the entire helmet in an MS222K clear. This is a 2K gloss automotive clear, and that is what's gonna get us that absolute perfect shine. So once we lay a nice even coat all over the entire headdress, yep, it's done. There's nothing else to it. I'm not weathering this, like I said. I think it looks awesome, just as a nice shiny color. I don't often leave them really shiny, so it's nice to see something really shiny. So that is, well, pretty much it. So we're just going to take the files and we're going to take some screws. We're just going to screw all the 4 panels together just so it's all locked in as one. I did put a little bit of tape and some super glue in just some of the spots I couldn't get perfectly. And for this main piece, I'm just going to add little bits of duct tape at the bottom, just folding it over so I can kind of line it up where I wanted it. And then I just put 2 beads of super glue at the top. I put a decent amount just because, well, it's only literally held on with 4 drops of super glue. Once that had cured, I dabbed a little bit of super glue at the bottom and then called it a day. So it is pretty fragile, I'd say. If you gave that a good whack, well, first of all, the resin's gonna probably break, and also then those bottom bits might be, well, broken. But for the purpose of making it and displaying it, absolutely perfect. So I'm gonna call this project done. So that is the headdress crown complete. Pretty happy with how this turned out. It was a really nice, quick, fun project. There wasn't too much involved. Sanding is, yes, well, a little bit tedious, but it always is. Obviously, doing those small little details can get a bit annoying. Won't lie, there are some little imperfections here and there in the sanding, but you're not gonna see it because it looks so shiny, and I'm really happy with it. It also sits in my head really, really well. It like sits, as you can see, sits really far back, which is exactly what it's meant to be. Obviously, I kind of need probably fabric to sort of even it out and make it look better. But hey, it's going on the shelf and I probably will never wear this again. So I'm fine with that. But I will see you all next week. We've got a very exciting, it's either going to be Tron or Ant-Man. I'm not too sure yet, seeing how things are going. But either way, I'll see you all next week where we'll go through all of that. But without further ado, let's head to the final result.